Okay, I think it just started recording, Mr. Ibrahimi.
Correct. Yes.
Greetings of the day to you once again, and thank you so much for
Same,
accepting
same.
to do this sample interview for the benefit of our teachers. Because as we promised, we are going to do this sample interview so that teachers know how the interview is going to be conducted. So,
All right.
Mr. Ibrahimi, we have four questions, and I'm going to ask you all the four questions one by one at a time, and you will have only one chance to say pass. So it means that we can skip one of the questions, and you are expected to answer three questions out of four. Okay? And you will have 30
All right.
seconds before each question to organize your mind and respond to me. When you are responding to the questions, remember if you can relate the response to our experience at IZ, then your responses will be rated higher. Do you have any questions before we start the interview?
Can I take notes
Of
or
course, you can take
I?
notes. You can take notes, and you will have something about 4 minutes for each question. It would be the best
Okay.
if you can organize your response between 3 to 4 minutes. Not less than 3 minutes, not more than 4 minutes. Between 3 and 4 minutes. That would be the best. Okay?
Okay.
Are we ready
Yes,
now?
we are.
Wonderful. Now, this is your first question. Will you confirm if you see the question?
I do. I
Okay,
confirm
great.
saying the question.
Now,
Yes.
Mr. Ibrahimi, you have this actually chance to say pass, and then I will show you the next question, or you have 30 seconds to answer this question. Are you going to answer this
I'll
question?
answer. I
Okay,
am.
so you have 30 seconds to organize your thoughts before you respond. Mr.
All right.
Ibrahimi, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, please go. Yeah.
All right. Paralinguistics is a term which is used to talk about features of communication which happen outside the formal system of language. Basically, paralinguistics is divided into subcategories of vocal and verbal, sorry, and physical. The vocal aspect of paralinguistics happens in terms of how we say things. Sometimes we express our feelings of anger, stress, relief, uh, um, whispering, shouting, and everything. In this case, we use basically a vocal feature of paralinguistics. The physical dimension of the issue, however, is concerned with how we use speak, how we use our body to, let's say, communicate with our learners. In this case, we use our body like shaking our heads, showing our hands in order to accept something, deny something, confirm something, show something even. And I believe through paralinguistics, we can, let's say, do a number of things which might be overlooked in this area. Through paralinguistics, I believe we can reduce teacher talk time and increase or give rise to students' talk time. When we talk less, basically, through using our physique, through using body language, or giving feelings through these two subcategories of paralinguistics, we can rise and increase the time of students to talk. Moreover, I believe that students' self-confidence can be boosted by paralinguistic use in class. When we go to them and whisper something and we do not say something out loud which relates in the crowd, well, they kind of put their trust in us, and this might result in a very good rapport. And what else do we want? I believe also that in our around the school, we can encourage paralinguists in order to say give rise to some kind of metalinguistic, some psychological aspects of learning.
Great. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahimi. Now let's move to the second question. In the same manner, look at this question and decide if you're going to take this question or you want me to pass.
I take it.
Okay, you have 30 seconds.
All right.
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Basically, a lot can be said about age of the learner. There's a common belief that language learning ability will act as age goes up, but basically it is not necessarily the case, because a lot depends on some other factors. Don't know, number of hours learners are taught, numbers, the number of students in a class, material, and everything. Point is that regarding age, learners are divided into three subdivisions of three groups of young learners, teens, and adults. Each subcategory has its own features we have to pay attention to. For example, it is often argued that the younger learners are, in fact, in young learners, the more imaginative they are. They do not pay attention to the system of language, so they absorb language as it is. They do not know what is right and wrong for them, so there has to be someone to decide for them what to in such classes. They are quite energetic. They enjoy being praised. And teen learners who are higher and between the ages of young learners and adult learners are in a quite critical period of their. So teachers might need to pay a lot more attention, I believe, to this age group. They sometimes hear, let's say, short-paced, let's say, and fast-paced activities. They begin to make sense of adult life and things of that sort. So they might get, I mean, these two groups of adult learners and teen learners are quite energetic. So teachers have to bear in mind that they might go to class quite handful. And adult learners, on the other hand, have developed a sense of logic. So when we speak of adult learners, we consider them responsible for their own learnings. They bring with them prior experience of, let's say, learning in different fields, language included. Um, and there are, of course, some disadvantages of adult learners, pretty much like their confidence might be lowered because of possible failures they have had in their prior experiences. Basically, if we pay attention to the age of learners, we can gear our activities, our teaching methods, our talking style even to them. And we won't get annoyed if we see things which are not commonly known as features of these learners. For example, young learners are known to have a very short attention span. All right, and in that case, if a teacher is basically irritated by having to tell them frequently what to do and what not to do, he or she is closing eye on this particular feature of this age group.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahimi. Actually, that leads us to question 3.
Of course.
So now you're going to tell me if you will take this question or you want me to pass.
What do you think of the generality of observations can be done to minimize stress? Can I take it?
Yeah, of course. You may start anytime, Mr. Ibrahimi.
Well, a lot can be said about observation. You know, observation, which is right for director of studies, the authorities of any language school, can bring about a lot of stress. No one can deny it. However, what of observation, who of observation, and how of observation have always been the matter of controversy in this area. According to which we can say that if we take a look at what is done and how in an observer, let's say, we can, let's say, possibly reform a lot of what we do in this area. Now, I believe that if the teacher is, let's say, informed of the session they are going to be observed, if they are asked what or which session and what of their course to be observed, well, basically, this can reduce. Moreover, it is quite vivid and goes without saying that study or the authorities at the school may not be able to observe all the classes and all aspects of any given class. So peer observation is another method in this area to reduce basically the stress this factor may cause. There are some, after observation, on, there are some, let's say, feedback behavior, in fact, and which can be done in order to put the person at ease regarding what has happened during the observation and what the results are. The school has to make sure that, let's say, their work is being. The school has to make sure that teachers are not going to be, let's say, their career is not going to be undermined through the early stages of observation and the first sessions they are observed. So, as the book suggests, there are some facilitative, let's say, behaviors can be taken in order to reduce the stress and increase the productivity of observation. The, let's say, techniques are called cathartic, which is a psychological relief through which the observee talks about the negative feelings they have about what they did and how they did it, in fact. The next one is catalytic, in which the observer asks the observee to reflect on what they have done and evaluate it. So, which means the observer is not going to be bound by the negative aspects of their, let's say, job. And finally, supportive behavior, which is a feature which the school, the observer, makes the observee certain that what they do is appreciated. And this is only, let's say, professional development, which is being done in their career.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahimi. Like I said at the beginning, this is a sample interview which is going to be produced and which is going to be shared with all the teachers for them to know about the structure of the interview. So you answered all the 3 questions consecutively. You didn't want me to pass or to skip any questions, but the teachers will have this opportunity. If they feel that they are not comfortable answering a certain question, they can ask me to pass to the next question, but they can only do it once. I think, given that we had a talk at the beginning of this interview for about 2 minutes, I think it comes to about 15 minutes, which is the exact time, which is the right time for each interview for every teacher. And Mr. Ibrahimi, let me tell you that ISEE is really proud to have you. You are such an asset for the school. Thank you so much for accepting to do this interview.
Thank you.
All the best of luck to you and see you later. Have a good time.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye.